Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, February 20th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol SMCI. And a very eventful day today, especially during this 30 minutes right here. Big move to the downside, which makes things a little challenging from a presentation standpoint, because is this a good or bad looking chart? Well, it's totally up to your perspective, meaning if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you're buying up around here and your plan is to buy and sell within 15, 20 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, things are looking very, very rough. Now, if you care about the big picture point of view, even with this big move to the downside, the chart is still very much so in an upwards trend. And there's a few different ways you could see this. If you just look at the low, so there's a low there, a low there, a low there, a low there. If you envision each of these as stair steps, you can see the stair steps still very clearly in the upwards direction. You could just look at the moving averages. That purple line there, 50 period moving average, has a nice upward slope to it. Pink line, 200 period moving average, has a nice upward slope. So there's multiple ways you could just look and kind of gauge the trend. And right now the trend is still plenty in the big picture perspective. Again, emphasis on big picture point of view. I fully understand that a scalper that bought right there, it thinks I sound crazy right now calling things bullish. But again, I'm commenting from an overarching standpoint. So if this does continue to pull back, preferably speaking, you'd want to see the price stay above that purple line. But even if it didn't, not the end of the world, because there's a lot of other areas of support down below. But I'm just going to focus on the 50 period right now, given the price isn't really even that close to testing that, even with the bigger pullback here. If the price does try to recover, then no need to overcomplicate it. The party finally stopped today right up there around the $66 mark. So that'll be the main battleground if things try to curl back upwards. But yeah, as of right now, top priority is making sure that this pullback right now doesn't spin out of control and turn into a reversal. Next one here, JTAI, and what an absolutely crazy monster mover on this one. I actually alerted this to my private community at, I don't know, down around here. Way lower than where it is right now. I'm not saying anybody played it perfectly, but I mean, wow, the movement here has been very, very impressive. So let's map out some key levels here. So from a resistance standpoint, right now, main battleground in my mind, right up there at about $11.15. And while there are no guarantees, in my opinion, if the price can come up here and get the high volume break, so again, key dynamic there, high volume break, then I think there's a very good chance, again, no guarantees, but a chance that the price not only gets up to that high right there, but then potentially even pushes up through there. So 11.15 in my mind is more so the truer level of resistance. But again, it's got to be a high volume break if it gets up to that area. If you're someone that likes to play more so pullbacks, so as far as areas of support are concerned, the preferable level of support, when you say, hey, Clay, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? That would be if the price could stay up there above $8.25. But from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that purple line there, 50 period moving average, keyword being moving, because I understand the price is way up here, this line's way down here. But as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and basically turn into a trend line that draws itself for you. So as long as the price stays above the quote-unquote trend line, then the overall bulls are still in control of the bigger picture trend. But yeah, no doubt about it. If you like volatility, if you like quick movers, then this one certainly fits those bills. Next one here, ticker symbol ADTX, and nice mover today. Did this one yesterday, put in higher highs, higher lows, so I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that level. But as of right now, I think there's a very well-defined level that probably a lot of people have noticed. So this is not some sort of great discovery. This is not some sort of special talent. But I think a lot of people have noticed that point 136 has been a very stubborn area. And I make the comment about a lot of people noticing that because when a lot of people are watching the same areas and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So again, no guarantees, but in my opinion, a more than valid and plausible thought that if the price can come up to that area and get the break, that break in and of itself could very realistically create upside buying pressure. So keep a close eye on that. If the price can get a high volume break of there, then yeah, now you're looking at potentially making a push back up into the 15s and maybe even the 16s. But again, it's got to be a good, solid, high volume break. In terms of levels of support, key level to watch in the near term, if there is any sort of pullback, right here around the 0.116 mark. And then, of course, you have your moving averages down here, but these are kind of irrelevant right now, given the prices all the way up there. But all in all, nice little consolidation here. Can it get the break of 0.136? We'll see what happens on Thursday. Next one here, INTC. So again, this kind of goes back to the first one we talked about. A little difficult from a presentation standpoint because it depends. Day traders, flippers, scalpers that were buying right there, hoping to continue to play the momentum into the day. Yeah, from that viewpoint, not looking so good at all. But if you care about the bigger picture, even with the gap down here, the low from here is still plenty higher than where it was previously. So from an overarching standpoint, the chart is doing just fine. Now, the first key update does come about based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if there is any sort of attempted curl back upwards, that'll be the main battleground right there at about 26.45 in the sense of, whether or not the price can push up through there. If it can, then the next key area of resistance, I'm just going to move down to here, is where the party stopped yesterday, right up around $27.60. In terms of areas of support, definitely from the preferable standpoint, you want to see the price stay above that purple line there. It's done a good job of that for a very long time. In the event the price can't quite hold above the purple line, next key area that I would keep a close eye on would be down there right around 23.85. But like I said, overall, assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, even with the pullback here, the chart is still plenty in a bullish uptrend. Next one, NVDA, and talked about this trend line previously. And overall, kind of a disappointing day. Not a train wreck of a day, but got the breakout, which was good. Consolidated, made another move up. But the problem is after that, consolidated, and that's not the problem, but right here, essentially kind of gave back its gains. But with that being said, that's also me sort of nitpicking because, again, from the bigger picture point of view, you can see the overall trend is still plenty in the upwards direction. So maybe you thought I was nitpicking, and I very well could have been, depending on your strategy and perspective. But I will say that right now in the near term, we do seem to have a level here that's I think going to be significant moving forward, just because I think a lot of people have noticed that. A lot of people have drawn that line. So again, back to the talking point of those potential self-fulfilling prophecies, I could see that line right there immediate the bill. In terms of levels of support, which is now kind of becoming a common theme here, keep an eye on that purple line there, 50-period moving average. If the price were to drop down below there, the next key area of support, I would call right down here around this consolidation area at the 136 mark. But like I said, big picture-wise, it's hanging in there. Got to think a lot of people will be watching that trend line, so we'll see if the price can push up through it or not. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here in just a couple of days, or actually not a couple of days, but actually tomorrow. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, ticker symbol RGTI. And after today's movement, I think we have a very well-defined level that a lot of people will be watching. And once again, yes, self-fulfilling prophecy area. Got to think right up here around that $11.50 mark, which actually makes a whole lot of good sense. Just going through the history of things, you can see this area was behaving as a support, and then just when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. And while it hasn't been exact, you can see right there, got within the general vicinity, resistance, and then today several times, rejected, and then afternoon rejected once again. So if there is any sort of movement back upwards, got to think all eyes will be on $11.50 and wondering, will the price actually have enough power to push up through there? So keep an eye on that as the main area of resistance. In terms of levels of support, in my opinion, a very important level of support is down here at the $10.70 mark. And that's important because if the price were to come down here and then break down below it, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back in that range of the chart where it already was. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make good moves and then all of a sudden go right back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. So again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that is why, in my opinion, 1070, a very important level. But nice move today. So now let's see if the price can continue to make progress moving forward. Next one, OSRH, and a pretty brutal looking pullback here. Although it's hanging in there, it's putting up a fight, and as I speak right now, look right where it's at. That purple line there, which I've talked about on past charts, the famous 50-period moving average, and this is why it's a famous level, because the price can tend to hold, it can tend to act as support. Now, just because it held right there and bounced does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to hold and bounce from right here. But is it valid? Is it plausible? Yeah, that is a scenario that you would want to keep an eye on. And the other reason why is if this level does not hold, then I'm not saying it's going to drop straight down to this location, but the chart opens up quite a bit, and you really don't have any sort of significant resistance until $1 away, down around $3.95. And on a sub $5 stock, $1 away, That's quite the movement here. So again, I'm not saying that if purple line breaks, it goes straight down to there. I'm just saying when you look back through the chart here, there just aren't any other major areas that would suggest any sort of bounce points. If the price does try to get moving back upwards, first key area of resistance to watch closely, in my opinion, would be right there around the $6.30 mark. But yeah, as right now, things are looking shaky, but to give credit where credit's due, that purple line there is trying to hold strong. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and I've had these areas of resistance up here for quite a while, and it hasn't been clean, but they've essentially kind of illustrated the fact that for whatever reason, up around this general area of the chart, the bulls are having a hard time maintaining and building upon the momentum. Now, getting up to that level is fine, and you can see right here, opening 30 minutes was fantastic, but then it just got stuck. And, you know, if you picture this as kind of just mud, the bulls really have been bogged down in this mud. And, you know, that's kind of just what I'm seeing here from that point of view. No, I don't want to cancel everything. But what I do want to do here to just clean things up, I want to get rid of those just so we can have more of a well-defined area. And I think we have that opportunity because I do think a lot of people have noticed that trend line right there. So, yeah, you guess it once again, one of these potential self-filling products. But I mean, look how clean that trend line is. So you got to think a lot of people have drawn that. So if the price can come up here and get a break up through that area, especially if it's a high-volume break, no guarantees, but valid, in my opinion, that the price can make a very legitimate move up to that pink line there, the 200 period moving average, if not even higher. If this trend line continues to hold strong and push the price down, then you're going to have that purple line right there that you're going to ultimately want to see hold as support. If it does not quite hold, then definitely the next key level that I would consider, not a do or die, but very important, would be down there right around 347.25. Next one, BHAT, and this is one where I'm not going to say that the chart is destroyed, but it's certainly near a very important level because no doubt about it, very nice move up, but also no doubt about it, pretty rough move down. But to be fair, the price does still have the opportunity to show some signs of progress. And the sign of progress in this situation, I'm defining as that pink line there, but I just want to extend it out. So I'm putting it right at that pink line, 200 period moving average at 0.058. And I've already talked about this, but very quickly, not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come down here and break down below, what do you have at that moment? You have the price having gone right back to where it was. And when you have price movements explode and then go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. But if the price can at least hold above 0.058, so if it chops around in here and holds, you can still at least make the argument from the bigger picture. Well, the price has a low here, the price has a low here, and there is progress being made. But in my opinion, 0.058, one of those kind of do or die levels, because you don't want to see the price going back to where it was. So yes, nice move here. Is there genuine power behind it? Let's see if the price can show progress. And again, progress being defined as 0.058. Next one here, QBTS. Very, very nice clean pattern here. So in fact, I don't think we've had this. Usually I have these patterns quite a bit, but not really working out how today. But we have the top part of the pattern right there, that area of resistance. We have the bottom part of the pattern right here as support, and then just to make it all the same color to hopefully make it easier to see, we have our area of resistance, we have our area of support, we have the big upwards move right there for you golfers. Try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Not just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But again, would it be shocking? Would it catch people off guard if the price came up here and eventually got a break there, and then that break created a upside buying pressure? No, I don't think anybody would be shocked by that movement. But in a nutshell, if you like the bull pennant patterns, if you like this price range, then I definitely keep an eye on QBTS. So that wraps up the top 10 stocks here. Again, if you like what you saw and you want to learn more, then definitely get signed up for the free class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, February 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So get signed up, and I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 lists are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, and a super easy and free way to support the channel is just to hit the subscribe button. It's amazing what the subscribe button, what you hitting that can do in order to help out the channel. So if you could do that, I really do appreciate it. So thanks for watching. Make sure you get signed up for the free class. Take care.